Hello, everybody. I am Dave, your host. This is Universal Truth of Mankind, and welcome to Future Forecast. So please like, subscribe, share these videos. I'm on YouTube and Rumble. If you're on one but not the other, please also be on the other because all my videos are on both. All right. I wanted to talk about or continue this discussion. In previous discussion, I talked about like the identity crisis, where I talk about that the elites out there is trying to keep us down to the rational mind and lower to the physical in our existence because they can't control us if we go above that. And they know this. So they do all kinds of things. They use money to keep us down. They use identity crisis to keep us down. I'm going to cover another one here that we need to understand. They hate families. They don't want families to reproduce. Why? Because they really do want to reduce the population of the world. The Georgia Guidestones, till they were destroyed. Oh, I was so happy when they were destroyed. I was so happy that they were destroyed. In there, even they said they want to get down to 500 million people in the world. That was one of the things, one of the objectives. And those are real objectives. Those, even though the Georgia Guidestones are destroyed, they're still after that. So they want to reduce the population, and they want to tell you when you can and can't have a baby. They may even tell you you can't have a baby. Oh, why not? Well, because you come from this particular family, and so we don't want your people around anymore. So you can't reproduce. And if you do, we will abort your baby and throw you in jail. Or worse, we'll outright shoot you. But if you ever watch Stargate SG-1, there's an episode called 2010. Watch that episode. That's where the world, our world, had an interface with a new alien species, which were human. But this alien species had an agenda to take over our world. And the way they did it was they gave a vaccine that would permit people to live for like 200 years. And Samantha Carter discovered why she couldn't get pregnant was because, why? It made people infertile. A large portion of the population was infertile. So they wanted to reduce the population. Samantha Carter discovered it. The team got back together and it got a note through the wormhole. In fact, it was Richard Dean Anderson who threw the note to himself through the wormhole with his blood on it. And they were able to say, yeah, this is your blood. And it said, do not go to this world. And they did accordingly. But I know that's sci-fi, but is the concept so far-fetched? No, it's not. So we really should be watching what we inject in ourselves. Don't inject something that is emergency use only, been authorized for that type of use. Because on the sheet, intention left blank, because they didn't do any tests on it, they can't tell you what's wrong with it. You're going to buy a house without checking it out? You're going to buy a car without looking at it? Hello? So they really are trying to destroy the family in various ways. They also do it by forcing the families to work overtime through inflation. As time goes on, you have to work more and more and more, so the family is less and less cohesive to where they start falling apart. I know for a fact, my kids, they see the way their friends' parents work and have very little life together. And they love our family because we're always together. Their friends come over to our house because they love being in a family setting. And we adopt everyone. I don't care who you are. We adopt you. I don't care what race you are. I have Christians that adopted, Messianics that adopt. I don't care. So I become an extended family for a lot of people, and they become extended family for me. And we've benefited from it in many ways. And they've benefited. So it's been a win-win situation for all around. But this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to dissolve the family. We look in Torah, for instance. Okay, back up. This be the last thing, and then I'm done. Recently, I was at a school board meeting, and one of the teachers got up and said, well, unless you have a teaching degree, you are totally unqualified to teach your kids. In the Torah, when you talk about tent, Joseph was in the tent of who? Jacob. All the tribes, the kids, the children, they were taught in a tent. We read the very first commandment in Exodus chapter 20. And what does it say? I am Hashem your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of bondage. That's physical slavery, which is part of what we're in. Egypt is here right now. There's going to be a 2.0. Out of the house of bondage. House? What do you mean house of bondage? House is a place of learning. Bondage, philosophies, vain teachings, incorrect teachings. So he also brought us out of the institutions of Egypt. What does that mean? Homeschooling, people. I homeschooled. My wife homeschooled. Yeah, they did go to the high school for a while, except for my one boy. And my one boy who was homeschooled is more successful than the other three combined. He never set foot in college. He refuses to be programmed by anybody. He's strong. Wonderful man, by the way. If anyone has a daughter, no. I've seen the impacts of what high school can do and college can do to kids. I'm not going to ignore what I see. My daughter ended up quitting college because she saw what was happening. She says, no way. I'm smarter than teachers. She's one of those students who went well beyond the boundaries of the school. They said, oh yeah, well, you can't go on an internship. Why? Well, you're only, you just started school. She put out for an internship. She got it. And she went out. She did her thing. She came back and said, teacher, you have nothing to teach me. I quit. That was the end of it. She saw it. She saw the disparity. So we had to take control of our kids. We had to take control of our families. And we had to kick the government out of that. We had to kick the education associations out of that. We had to restore families the best we can, bring them home if we need be. And make time for them. Stop working your butts off. And say, well, we're just going to have to cut the budget. Hey, I had that great Cadillac out there. Get rid of it. I'll get a used Honda Accord, for instance. You got to do stuff like that. Oh, I had 3 homes. Get rid of them. Pay off your debts. Stay in the one home. And make it the home that makes sense. It may be the smallest of the homes, not the largest of their homes. Be frugal, be smart, and it will control you less and less. Take care, everybody. Rebuild that family. If not, help the future generation build their family. Take care, everyone. Shalom, shalom.